Many thanks for having me here at TOR. It's actually the first time for me being here on stage and saying before I kick it off, means I just ask one question, means who of you likes chemistry? Oh, a couple of hands. Who doesn't like chemistry? Thanks for being fair and saying, and actually I was asked to give really here a nerd talk about real chemical terms, about periodic table, about enantiomers in other words, and how carbon can connect. I will not do that. I will rather refer to the industry as a whole and hopefully give you an idea to the title. It should be here on screen. Hopefully I get this on screen. Guys, could I get my slides, please? Here we go. The title is It's All About Chemistry. And hopefully when I come to the end of my presentation, you will understand why it's all about the chemistry for you. I don't want to bore you to death regarding my bio. You can all read this at LinkedIn. But actually, instead of telling everything, that's where I come from. And for a PhD chemist, that is a beauty. Because that is the Ludwigshafen site, means one of the largest industrial complexes throughout Europe, dedicated to chemistry, a city of its own, 3 railway stations, energy consumption of Greater Paris, consumption of natural gas of complete Switzerland, just to give you a couple of figures. That's where I come from. And what you should take that from that is saying it's a very traditional industry. We talk about 150 years of history. We talk about assets, we talk about large plants and massive investments into that industry. And when you ask people like you, and we've done it over and over again, saying what do you actually link or associate with chemical industry per se, you get typical those kind of answers. One is you have that kind, I'm a PhD chemist, so you have that kind of picture, somebody with a white coat, standing in a lab, doing experiments, you find those words. The second class of answers you get are usually products, plastics, pigments, pharmaceuticals, any kind, or agrochemicals, classes of products. There's this third classes of answers you get. One is regulation, toxicity, chemical spills, poison. That's what you get when you think about chemistry. It's given. And the fourth element, that is actually for the chemical buffs, is linked to the field of you need technology to enable chemistry, manufacturing, engineering, acids, reaction vessels, those kind of topics. You find those words too. But what I want to convey to you is on just one main thing. Everybody of you this morning, you have brushed your teeth, right? Hopefully you have, otherwise your dentist is not happy with you. Is when you grab that toothbrush, that thing is made of plastic, chemistry. It's colored, pigments, chemistry. You need to put that pigment into the toothbrush, chemistry. You need to protect it against the degradation of light and oxygen, chemistry. You have the process at the very top, chemistry. You put a toothpaste on, which is actually an inorganic solid, simply to clean your teeth. That's actually what you do, inorganic solid in your mouth. But you don't want to have baking powder in your mouth, right? So you want to have it as a nice paste, another class of chemistry. And it needs to feel fresh. So another class of chemistry. So I just give you an example, 10 classes of chemistry in one single daily application. And when you go around those pictures, in any of those, I can do the same deep dive. If that is driving a car, if that is producing energy, if that is using your mobile phone, if that is using your computer, if that is using your furniture, if that's building your home, irrelevant. In all those areas, you find those classes of chemistry. So essentially, our life, our basis as societies, our economies, are built to a large extent on the products of chemistry. They are. Everything what we cherish, what we love, and what we use is linked somehow to chemistry. But chemistry beyond power generation, driving cars, heating your homes, is one of the big carbon consuming industries on this planet. Based on coal, oil, gas. So depletion of natural resources. End of life materials have an impact with a negative side. It means you just see the picture of plastics. Plastics being used after use on our shores, in our seas, in the areas you don't want to have. On the other hand, the solution to overcome those issues are already in our hands with technology. Producing energy by renewable resource here is, for an example, produced by wind, or you produce food enabled by chemistry, by nutrification, protecting the plant, or you have the tools in chemical terms ready, available to recycle your carbon source and giving it actually back to the economy. So it's actually the same coin. You have the benefits and you have the drawbacks. And what's the result of that is regulation. Above all, means the regulators impose certain rules on the industry. And believe it or not, means the chemical industry is one of the highest regulators industries on this planet, precisely for that reason. What I believe, after 150 years of that industry, there is a big crossroads of that industry. With the responsibility producing large amounts of carbon dioxide, with the use of carbon resources, use of other precious resources we have on this planet, we are truly at the crossroads of our industry to take the responsibility for our products and to use the elements of domain expertise, research, technical capabilities, manufacturing assets, and the power of innovation to push technologies forward to overcome the issues we are dealing with today in order to build a better industry of tomorrow. That's the reason why we exist. Why you see me here on stage with the Chemovator term, which is the business incubator of BASF. And we dedicate ourselves to 3 words. It's purpose, it's people, it's power. And what do I mean by that? I think purpose is straightforward. I just explained to you that from the background where we come as an industry. There are big issues, big challenges for our planet today. And for a better tomorrow, massive investments in innovation and R&D are needed. Power. The industry has a reach in every corner of our life today. Each of you is interacting with chemicals. All countries, if that is an African country, if that's an Asian country, if that is a Western country, is somehow interacting with chemicals today. There is in every corner of this planet that technology available. So by scale, that domain expertise, production assets, market expertise is available. However, in the middle are people. People like you. People like you who do not accept the status of the industry of today. And I'm not accepting that status quo either. So we are open, we are looking forward for finding the right people, the right minds, with our backing, people dedicated to the industry and having the right expertise to invest in those fields. I don't know the answer, how the future of the chemical industry will look like. But we are here, we are open to look for talents, people, open minds, looking into future business models and technologies. Might be deep tech, might be tech connections to deep tech, connected to chemistry per se, to put the chemical industry in a future which is more reliable and more robust as it is today, overcome the issues what I just described. So when you have further questions, you want to engage with us, we have a little booth here in the exhibition area. Talk to us, engage with us, and we're looking forward to your ideas and your inputs. Many thanks for listening. Many thanks for listening from an old industry. Looking forward to your questions. Thank you very much.
We don't have any questions from the audience, Red. Anyone wants to ask a question?
Hi, just had a little chat. What kind of areas do you see the most attractive to start with as an old chemistry? So is it about recycling or new raw material?
Many thanks for giving me a chance. Actually, something what I've forgotten to mention in between. We have 3 areas we love to invest in. So we are doing tickets, we invest. One of the fields we like to invest in is actually in the field of new materials, means classical, means chemicals solving the issues what I just described. The second area is to be smarter what we're doing today. So that's the correlation between tech, chemistry, deep tech, that could be in the field of renewable feedstocks, means being smart in production assets. And the big question, what is the do or die question of that industry, when you ask me, is truly the question, how do you find a profitable, sustainable business model for that industry? And that's the question what propels and describes the path of investor in highly regulated countries in the next 10 or 15 years. So when you ask me is where I would place down my bets is to find as many use cases I can in the area of sustainably, closing the loop, changing feedstocks, and to find more reliable full life cycle products to invest in. That's the big lever.
We have one question on Slido.
Great question. Potentially don't know that, but BASF as a large organization actually has invested in wind parks starting 2 years ago. So it means actually was a board decision to use the power of electrification to change the energy source of carbon by methane to electric power. And the way doing so is actually acquiring production assets in the North Sea and to circle back electric power and to actually invest in electric furnaces. So there is the desire, and there's actually a structured program to get the dependency on methane or carbon-based energy sources back. So yes, there is an integration. Actually, there is a second program coming in the north of the site I've just shown you, building a big solar park, precisely for the same reason. So it will be integrated, and when you ask me, it's the right path to do. By the way, all those technologies are chemically enabled too. So solar technology, heck of chemistry, and the field of wind, just light build materials rotating under those mechanical stress is a typical chemical question.